Wojciechowicz, and with me is Maria Paśko, about which I will in a second. Before that, I would like to say hello to everybody, and I'm pretty happy that we can start our wonderful webinar about UX practices. So let's go to the next slide and let's start, because I guess all the guests, the participants could join us already. Yeah, the subject you all probably know. It will be 7 best e-commerce UX practices, about which Maria will tell in a bit different way as far as I remember. But before that, I would like to tell you who we are as a company, because we are ORBA, and we are providing a lot of solutions related to the B2B and B2C e-commerce platforms. We got big international experience. We already, during the last 10 years, we implemented a lot of stores, a lot of projects has been managed in more than 30 countries. We are integrating a lot, we are developing a lot, and we are providing really high quality experience for our customers, and of course all our clients. The clients which we got are mostly well-known brands, and the big ones, but also the small ones which are developing themselves together with us. We are official partner of the Microsoft Azure, of the Magento, of BigCommerce, of Salesforce, of PIM such as Akeneo, and we are also a partner of a few institutions as eCommerce Polska. Next slide is the last one, which I will present you about our company. So don't worry, it won't be only sales stuff today, because it's Maria's day. So this slide is the compilation of our services, and it shows directly what do we do. So we mostly provide the solutions for the B2C market, for the B2B, and for professionals, as well as we are integrating such solutions with marketplaces, or even providing solutions which can be used as marketplaces by our companies, by our clients. We are starting from the scratch, so from the strategy through the mockups, drafts, and so on. So UX prototyping and all the art design, business modeling, and integration with ecosystems of our clients are our solutions, which are going to, which are mostly as a base of the development, further development, and of course maintenance and support of such services. We got a lot of clients with which we work since many years, and we love to work for a long time with clients. So I hope we will meet with you as well someday. What else about us? We are providing also a lot of analytics of data. We are part of Lingaro Group, about which you can check more information on our website. And we are experts in all the innovations such as CI/CD implemented in our job. That's it on my side. If you would like to get any more information, of course, feel free to contact me. And now in front of you, we got Maria Paśko, our UX expert, which will introduce herself in the best way, I assume. And I can wish you all the best and delightful hour with Maria. So on my side, thank you. See you at the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Michał, for the introduction. So my name is Maria Paśko, and I am a UX designer at ORBA. And professionally, I am interested in user research-related topics and psychology also, especially what motivates people to make their decisions. And today, I am very excited to present to you the 7 best UX e-commerce best practices. But I thought it will be easier for me and also for you to understand this topic by presenting to you actually the most common UX mistakes and then the solutions for these problems. So the agenda for today is, in the first part, I will talk about most common e-commerce UX mistakes, what is a UX e-commerce, and mistakes and best practices. In the second part, I will cover the topic of UX audit. So what is it, how to conduct it, what is the output, and what is the business benefit from it. In the third part, I will summarize everything and talk about the future, what's more, and stuff like this. And of course, in the fourth part, there will be a Q&A and session. So think about questions during the presentation, write it in the chat, and I will try to answer it at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. What actually is the user experience of the e-commerce? So the user experience of e-commerce is practically how the users interact with your product, and getting it right is as critical as the product you are selling or offering. So the color palette you choose, the layout of your website or app, and the navigation you choose or design is very important, and many e-commerce businesses don't realize that how important it is to make the UX e-commerce at the highest level. So yeah. What are the most common e-commerce mistakes? So ignoring mobile commerce, inconsistency in UI design, confusing checkout process, poorly designed navigation paths, too many or irrelevant pop-ups, blindly follow all design trends, and lack of product information. And now I'm going to talk about each of them in details. So let's get started. Number one, ignoring mobile commerce. So what are the most common mistakes in mobile e-commerce? So have two small interface elements. As you can see at the screenshot, this pink one on the left. The links in the navigation, the flags and buttons are not big enough to be comfortably touched or clicked. Too many active elements on the page, so sliders, pop-ups, videos, and stuff like this are very distracting and not always working on mobile devices. Buttons placed below the fold, so you don't know what to do on the page. And a great example is the website, mobile website on the right. So this black-white one, you don't know what to do. This call to action button is probably under the fold. Category is buried deep down in the hamburger menu, which also is a common mistake. And also on the black-white screenshot, there is a hamburger menu, but it's white. And on the top of the white background, it's invisible. And the last most common mistake is not considering image sizes, resolution, and context. So what are the benefits of mobile commerce? Why we should make it good? Convenience and better overall experience. Because you have your mobile device everywhere and every time with you, so it's very it's easy to reach. It's easy to make shopping when you have your phone every time with you. Omni-channel experience, because you can make, for example, you can promote your products in Instagram, which are mainly used by via mobile devices, and wide choice of payment options. And on mobile devices, it is sometimes even one-click checkout. But one may say that responsive design is enough, but I think that it's not enough, because even responsive websites could be designed for bigger devices, could not consider every element that should be on the mobile device. And why is it important to provide a good UX on the mobile version? Because mobile devices users are reaching the number of 5.1 billion. So that's a huge amount of people around the world. Also, mobile commerce sales are gonna reach $3 trillion this year. And the last reason is that in 2021, the share of mobile commerce is forecasted to reach 72.9% of the overall e-commerce sales. So first, UX best practice is to provide your users an outstanding mobile user experience. So make all elements that are accessible on the desktop also accessible on the mobile devices. Make all elements big enough to click it comfortably on mobile device, and also provide some visual clues what to do next on mobile. Number 2, inconsistency in UI design. Lack of style guide. But what actually is a style guide? So the style guide is a holistic set of standards for UI elements and interactions that occur in many different digital products, but not only digital. It ensures the consistency across the team, across developers, across whole organizations. And why we should consider building one? Because it promotes marketing and sales in very consistent sales with consistent brands. Sorry, and the second one, communication and collaboration across the team, because style guide helps to communicate across the team of developers and designers, and it helps to create consistent UI and UX for new or existing products. And of course, it makes learning easier for new users because the elements of the interface are similar. For example, buttons are always orange. So it also eliminates confusion and builds confidence. So the user know exactly what is under their thumbs. So this is the example of website without any style guide. As you can see, I don't know what to do here. Buy now button is very invisible practically here, but add to wish list is bigger. There is no grid. There is no visual clue what to do next and how to actually buy the product. So the second UX best practice is to prepare a solid style guide for your product and stick to it. So be sure that all visual elements on your website look the same, share the same style, and are consistent with your brand. Number 3 is poorly designed navigation paths, overly complex menus, or no navigation at all. So why is navigation so important? Because the navigation on a website or an app is like map and compass. So it ensures users or customers where are they actually on the website and what to do next. So here's the example of website with no clear navigation. So this is a home page, and as you can see, every tab and every button are red. So I don't know if I should buy tickets, submit, see the gallery, search, or do something else. Here also is a good example of crashed navigation because I don't know where I am. I don't know what to do next. There is no call to action button. I don't know even what is the purpose of the website. And here we have the same. Yeah. Also, as hamburger menus, as you can see on the mobile version of this website, it's not that bad. But if we use hamburger menu on the desktop, it's just useless. I don't recommend doing that. Okay, so third UX best practice is to take care of the navigation. So provide visual cues, what to do next, make labels meaningful and understandable for users, provide breadcrumbs, use mega menus instead of drop-down menus in tab navigation, and give a user sense of place. Number 4, never-ending story, confusing checkout process. So checkout process is a very important, or even the most important part of the most important path on the e-commerce website, because it takes you from the product to actual purchase. So most common mistakes in checkout process are no possibility to buy as a guest, complicated requirements for creating a password. So you know how to create it, but you provide several passwords and nothing is good enough. Unexpected charges during checkout, no information about delivery time, and no validation of the credit card number field. No possibility to edit data, for example, address, in the following steps. So once you provide the address, you cannot change it in the following steps. Optional and required fields are not marked. So the user doesn't know how much time does it take to fill the actual form, and yeah, it could be frustration for him. So how can we describe and optimize checkout process? So we can describe it basically based on this list, but by extract the negatives. So the possibility to buy as a guest, user is not forced to log in, clear requirements for creating a password, only expected charges during checkout, information about delivery time, validation of the credit card number field, possibility to edit data, optional and required fields are marked. And also an optimized checkout process will have speed, because the slow checkout process could be stressful for users and they will abandon cart. Easy form filling, is it a good pattern to provide, for example, a social media login or a registration? Guest checkout, because people don't like commitments and like doing shopping without conditions. And define flow. So customers should know where are they in the checkout flow and how many steps are in front of them. So fourth UX best practice is to optimize the checkout process. So speed, easy form filling, provide guest checkout, and define the flow of the checkout. Number 5, hidden content, too many or irrelevant pop-ups. So what is actually a pop-up? So a pop-up is a dialog or a window that appears at the top of the content of the page. So what are the signs that your pop-ups are cause of a bad UX? Showing a pop-up before the main page content loads. Displaying a pop-up right after the users log in. Asking for an email address before interaction. Asking for feedback before people have done anything meaningful. Interrupting users to ask for feedback during critical tasks. And using modal overlays for GDPR and cookie notifications. Yeah, and here we have a great example of pop-up that caused a bad UX. So yeah, it appears just after the page is loaded. So I don't even know what the content of the page is, what the page is all about, and I have a 30% discount. I don't know why. I don't know what to do, so I don't recommend this kind of usage for pop-ups. And also for mobile devices, as you can see, the pop-up is full screen, and you don't even see the name of the page or the navigation, which is of course hidden here in the hamburger menu, which also is a bad pattern, as I said in the previous step. And here we have a good example, or maybe very bad example of pop-up usage, because these two pop-ups appear in the middle of the checkout process. So I don't even buy anything, I don't pay, I don't provide any data, and they ask me for opinion. So I don't do anything. So Why should I share my opinion with them? So what to do instead? Give value to your visitors before asking them anything. So provide your users a value. Give them time to complete their task, and then ask them, for example, for email address or opinion. Give users some time and space to complete their task. Offer users something valuable and tangible in exchange for their email addresses. So maybe discount, so maybe free ebook or something like this. Ask users to provide feedback immediately after they have completed a task. So not before, but just after. If you want to ask them for honest opinion, ask them after they complete their main task. And consider using a less intrusive option such as tooltip on the link, or maybe small banners at the bottom of the page. So fifth UX best practice is to rethink pop-ups usage. Don't interrupt your users, communicate value for them, and provide valuable feedback. Number 6 is poor product description. So here we have an example of actually pretty well designed product page. So you may say that, okay, so my product page looks exactly the same. It's very similar. But how do I know that it is crashed? So signs that you need to improve your product info is, for example, product name designed for search engine, not for users. Low quality images. No information about additional charges. No info about product availability. Not clear product options and ways of selection them. Not clear way how to buy a product. How to improve, how to solve that problems. So give your product clear and recognizable name, which will be good not only for search engine, but also for your users. Provide a meaningful description that actually will help to your users to decide if they want to buy it or not. Cues how to change attributes. So provide visual cues for the user how to change, for example, size, color, or the taste of your product. Provide clear information about pricing, how the shipping will cost, how the actual product will cost, and so on. And provide high quality images because users cannot, users who are making their shopping via internet cannot touch, cannot feel, cannot see real products, so they make their decisions based on images, so provide it in high quality. Okay, so sixth UX best practice is to provide meaningful product page. So clear name, how to change attributes, high quality images. And the last one, the number 7, is blindly follow all design trends. Okay, so here we have a great example of a web page which is very trendy. I can say it's fancy, but it has bad UX. Why is that? Because the navigation isn't defined in a well way. There is no call to action. There are very many icons without descriptions. Basically, I don't know what to do. And I don't know even if it's the end of the page or is it something under the fold. So common trends that might be bad for business. Might, but if you design it well, it can be quite good, of course. So hero sliders, hamburger menus, mystery meat navigation. So mystery meat refers to the name of is it pork, is it chicken, or is it beef? You don't know it unless you try it. So the navigation, mystery meat navigation is not navigation type that you don't know what is under it. unless you hover over. And it's very bad user experience for mobile devices because you cannot hover. Also, full screen page sections, as I said in the previous slide, animating too many page elements because you want the user to be focused on the most important functionalities on the page and not on everything. And too many animations could be very distracting for the user. So the 7th UX best practice is to provide real value to the user, not just pretty pictures. So you can follow the trends, but use your head to do it and think about the end user. So, okay, that was the end of the first part. Let's go to the second part, which is UX audit, discover what's not working and why. So what is a UX audit actually? So UX audit is an evaluation process of a user interface of an app or a website. And this process helps to identify usability problems in digital products, but not always digital, and detect problematic areas to that makes user leave your page. Of course, the UX audit isn't a magic pill. It doesn't solve all your problems and answer all your questions, but definitely will answer these essential questions. Where do users experience difficulties when they complete their tasks? What does the data tell about users' behavior and their needs? And what can be changed on a website to improve its business performance? So how to conduct a user UX audit? So first, understand the business objectives. So understand the stakeholders, understand your clients, understand also the product you will be auditing. The second one, understand the users and their objectives, because you have to know who are your users, what their goals are, what they want to do on your website. Review analytics to dig down into your data. Evaluate usability heuristics. And usability heuristics, it's a set of principles, well-known principles that altogether are a set, they are called a good UX experience, so try to evaluate them on your website. So what is the output of UX audits? Basically, the output is a report, and UX audit always ends with compiling the findings in this report. And also, you should provide recommendations that arise from these findings. So what's not working, why is that not working, and how to improve it. So what is the business value of UX audits? Of course, increase user satisfaction rate, which also means increased conversion rate, because happy users are more likely to buy or subscribe or do some stuff like that on your e-commerce website. And also reduce development costs, because if you have a list of problems and list of ways to solve them, you can design a consistent process to solve these problems and improve your website. Okay, so the summary. First, you need to know your users, know for who you are designing, for who are your clients. Then you have to make some kind of UX audit, find more about analytics on your website, and then discover the most common problems on your website and try to find a solution based on the best practices. Okay. Of course, I only touched the topics today. I can prepare in the future a presentation for each of them, because they are very widely described in the resources. So for today's presentation, I used mainly resources from Nice and Norman Group, which I highly recommend. I also Weimar Institute, but I also used Interaction Design Foundation, Career Foundry resources, and UX Studio Team resources, which I also recommend. You can find out more about UX mistakes and best practices on these websites. And remember that users spend most of their time on others' websites, so don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just stick to the principles, and everything will be good. Everything should work right. It doesn't mean you have to copy others' design. Yeah, but just look what's working and reuse it on your website or app. Okay, so that was the end of my presentation. Thank you for today, and I'm happy to invite you for Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please write them in the chat.
Thank you, Maria. That was wonderful session of your knowledge. Now we can start the Q&A session. I guess probably we will get some feedback. I can see the first question on our chat, so check it, please.
Okay, so high quality graphics or fast website loading, what is more important from the buyer's perspective? So, okay, it depends. I cannot say as a buyer, like a group of people, buyers as a group of people, but I can say from my side. So I prefer to have high quality graphics because I made a decision based on them. So I need to know how exactly this product looks like. So I will wait. I will wait for the website to load. This is my answer for this question. Okay, we have a second question. Clients in my store fall off when they have to fill any form, for example, color and number of products. What we can do with it? Okay, first you have to think about who are your clients, who are your users, but because maybe the presentation of color and number of products and quantity, stuff like that, is not understandable for them. So you have to think like your user, like a customer. So I recommend to check it first. And then maybe this is some kind of problem with backend. Maybe the buttons are not working or something like this. Okay, do we have any more questions?
Let's check. Yes, it is. Something about the navigation path.
Okay, so poorly designed navigation path as the most common UX mistake. Overly complex menu or no navigation at all. Where is the happy medium? How to find it? So overly complex menu or no navigation at all. Okay, I did not recommend overly complex menu nor no navigation at all. So first of all, you have to ask yourself as a designer or store owner a question: what is the most important thing to do for users on my website, or even on each page, and then provide good visual clues and not only visual clues for the user, that he or she knows where he is, know where to go further, know how to come back and stuff like this. So you have to rethink your whole information architecture, and then think about navigation.
She's asking about the difference between V2B and V2C user experience. So
ordering a UX audit.
Oops. Something.
Okay, something's went wrong.
No problem.
That's fine. That's my internet connection. Okay. Ordering a UX audit to an external company, or rather to survey our customers? Okay, I guess we can say that both can be valuable. You can start from surveying your own customers to know them better, and then asking an external company to maybe not make UX audits, but for free consultation or just ask some basic questions about your interface. Okay.
Make an audit internally and externally, because this it matters on the point of view and the experience. So sometimes in organization, if you are checking your website internally, you might not catch the things that might be important for the people which are from other organization, external one, because that's the matter of knowledge, and that's obvious. So 2 times check is always the best solution, I think.
Exactly. I fully agree with Michal. Okay, and our last question, I guess, how does this relate to B2B? What are the differences in UX between B2B and B2C? So basically, the difference between UX for B2B and B2C is that the way that users, that customers from B2B and B2C make purchases on your websites is quite different, because many times B2B clients know exactly what they want to buy and make purchases with high quantities. And that is very different from the B2B side. So you have to think about your clients, and also sometimes B2C clients are familiar with the technical terminology that you can use on your website.
You mentioned, because the way people are managing orders in B2B is sometimes absolutely different, and we got such a client which doesn't present his products in a very advanced way because they don't need it. The clients are pasting the code numbers of the products, and they don't care absolutely about the product presentation and well built the carousel of the videos and images, etc., etc. So it depends on the type of business and the level, I would say, of this relation in this B2B, for example, because there are also clients which are ordering using some CSV files, for example, the ordering, importing the file with some numbers, and the quantity is in thousands, and it depends on the business. And B2B business definitely has its own rules, and every type of B2B business is a bit different. But of course, it doesn't mean that we don't know it. Of course, it means that you have to deeply check who are your clients, what are they doing, and prepare your customer journey for them, and to analyze what are their goals, how are they working on this platform, and just
exactly.
It should let you know what are the problems they are meeting and how to solve these problems and to make it simplified. Nowadays in B2B business, there are a lot of problems when you are transferring from the offline business to online business, because you got the phones to lady which is ordering your stuff, and many issues related to the orders of the B2B. So the only UX, it depends. You have to check it. You have to check it. So yeah. Okay. Do we got any other questions? Oh, Mr. Tomasz asks, what tools do you use to analyze user behavior, analytics, Hotjar, etc.? Maria, do you got any suggestions? Because these ones like Google Analytics and Hotjar, of course, are are very common, and we know them very well.
Yeah, I highly recommend checking Google Analytics and Hotjar. And I use it in my daily work. And of course, it's not enough because you have to ask your users why they are likely doing so. Also, usability testing and some other tests and all kinds of contact with users would be good. Yeah.
Solutions, I guess the service also in different places, and the methodology of focus groups and selecting your top clients and analyzing them. From my experience, this is the best way actually to understand what's the most important for them, what are the crucial elements, and that's I think the one of the best ways to analyze. So people are the tools, I would say. Okay. Any other questions? If you got any other questions, we feel free to ask them. Of course, we would love to help you, and we are very open people to discuss such issues, such problems, and such ideas. So feel free always to contact us in the future. I guess on the next slide you can check our contact information, and that's it. You can easily set up a meeting with us to discuss your business, even if it's B2C or B2B marketplace or anything else related. We will help you with pleasure, just to talk about your needs and problems, and try to help you. So that's it. Okay, so Maria, that was amazing. So thank you very much on my side. Thank you all the participants. I hope it was also a pleasure for you to join us on this webinar.
It was a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you. So let's stay in touch. We wish you all a sunny day, and hope to that you will join us on our next webinars, about which you will probably get some information soon on our LinkedIn or Facebook.com. So thank you once again, and that's the end of the story. Cheers.
Thank you very much. See you.
See you.